What is the total project cost?
The total project cost is $102.9 million.
What is included in the total project cost?
The construction is included, as well as the site works, as well as the demolition of the existing building. In addition, the furnishings, fittings, and technology, or educational technology, is also included, as well as fees and contingencies.
Will the MSBA share in the cost of this project?
Oh, absolutely. The Permanent School Building Committee has worked very, very closely with the MSBA over these last 2 years. And on July 30th of this year, 2014, the MSBA Board of Directors voted to approve the project and provide a reimbursement up to $55.7 million.
When was the last time the town of Holbrook built a school?
The last school was built in 1963.
What options for the Holbrook schools have been studied?
9 options have been studied, and after long and careful analysis and much discussion, the pre-K-12 building was decided upon, and it will be built on the property of the junior-senior high school. The other 2 buildings will be either sold or repurposed.
Has regionalization been studied?
Yes, it has been studied. The Mars group was hired to do a regionalization study, and they concluded that the pre-K-12 option allowed flexibility in order to have regionalization if that were to happen. We will continue studying that, and the design of this option will allow for regionalization if we were to reach that type of agreement.
Can the new school option be reduced in size?
In order to provide the educational spaces needed and meet the requirements for reimbursement by the MSBA, the new school must be sized as it is in the current design.
If we decrease the number of school choice students at the junior and senior high level, can we make the new building smaller?
No, the MSBA based our population on the amount of students in Holbrook, and it did not include school choice because they don't include that factor into building projects.
Why not simply renovate the existing building instead?
Well, the study determined that the age and condition of the junior-senior high school building, which is 57 years or more old, would not be appropriate, and that we'd have to bring that building up to code with a renovation. And the MSBA determined that it would not be eligible for reimbursement. So the renovation addition would cost almost as much as the town share of the new pre-K-12 building.
If the new building doesn't pass, can we use the state money just to repair the existing building?
No, Dave, that is not an option. The MSBA has funded this project and this project only for the town of Holbrook, and any other projects would be starting the process all over again.
Will the new school fit on the existing junior-senior high site?
Yes, it'll fit on the existing junior-senior high school site along with the improved roadways, parking, fields. The 2 existing elementary schools are too small for the pre-K-12 option. Also, the new school can be built behind the existing school on the fields without the requirement for expensive phasing and disruption to the students who will not have to be relocated during construction.
Why not find a new site?
The school fits on the junior-senior high school site along with the roads and the fields. A new site would increase the project cost and would not be reimbursed by the state.
Will the elementary students be separated?
Yes, the pre-K students will be completely separated from the 6 to 12 students. There are 2 buildings that have separate entrances, separate administration, and there are walls between the buildings so that there will be no crossing through during the day.
Will more teachers need to be hired because of the increased number of classrooms in the new building?
There should not need to be any more teachers hired for this because we will be consolidating our efforts to share faculty, and the amount of classrooms right now are manned by enough faculty. So the only thing that would require more faculty would be if we created new programs and had new electives.
Will the traffic be impacted?
A traffic study has been completed, and it allows for the backup to be eliminated on South Franklin Street and around the existing school. The flow of traffic will be around the entire structure, and it'll have a lot more spacing for queuing of cars to relieve the traffic.
Why create a synthetic multi-purpose athletic field?
This type of field is great to be utilized by different sports such as football, soccer, field hockey, lacrosse. It's more durable than grass and can be used throughout the seasons by the school and the community.
What happens if the project is approved by the taxpayers?
If the voters approve the project on November 4th, things will start moving very quickly. We move into design development phase. Then we get into the construction document phase. It gets very busy for the Permanent School Building Committee and the town, because we'll be getting input from the town throughout the process. And then construction will start in November of 2015 with occupancy scheduled for December of 2017.
Will the selected design option work for regionalization in the future?
Yes, it will. It will work as either a pre-K to 12 building as it is now, or if we were to regionalize in the future with Avon, the numbers would work.
Will there be costs to convert the selected design option to a regionalized school in the future?
No, there will be no additional costs. Because the numbers work, there'll be no additional costs if we were to regionalize. The size of the spaces and the numbers of students would essentially be the same.
What is the tax impact?
The town treasurer has been developing the impact to taxes in a range. Today's interest rate is 3.5%, and providing that we're borrowing the money in about a year or so, he felt comfortable to be able to show it as a range between 3.5% and 5.5%. Now that range equates to approximately $2.48 per thousand valuation at a 3.5% interest rate and $3.05 per thousand on a 5.5% valuation. And then looking at that a little bit deeper, based on an average home value of $231,800, the annual tax impact for at a 3.5% interest rate is $575, and at a 5.5% interest rate is $706.
When will the town be voting on this project?
Okay, so there's actually two important votes. The first vote that we're going to have will be at town meeting, and that's scheduled for October 22nd. And that vote is to authorize the borrowing, because we still have to authorize the borrowing for the project. The second vote is to the voters of Holbrook, and that's scheduled for November 4th. And that vote is to allow us to exclude the costs of this project from the limits of Prop 2.5. So it's a two-part vote, one for town meeting to authorize the borrowing. The second one is for the voters to approve raising the funds. It's called a debt exclusion vote, raise the funds outside of the limits of Prop 2.5.
Why can't the town start construction earlier than the fall of 2015?
Well, given the debt exclusion vote on November 4th, 2014, and with the successful passage of that vote, it'll take the architect about 10 months to develop the detailed construction drawings to be able to give to the contractor. Factoring in bidding after that, approximately 1 to 2 months, that brings us to November of 2015 for a construction start.
What is the value of having an accredited high school?
An accredited high school allows the townspeople, parents, and students to feel that their course of studies is valid and it meets certain standards. The New England Association of Schools and Colleges sets forth these standards, and colleges also have to adhere to these standards. So a college would be likely to choose students that come from accredited high schools because it is the same process and the same assurance that they have that they are meeting certain standards in the college. I think that our accreditation depends on this building. So we really do need to have this building because that is one of the pieces that NEASC has cited us in violation of.
What if this project is not approved by the town?
If the project is not approved by the town, we would have a problem with our accreditation. Since we are on probation at the time, we were last accredited in 2005, and we were cited for having facility problems. If we do not get a new building, we will still be in that same situation. And since we're on probation, the next step is not being accredited. And we would certainly not want that to happen. In addition, we would have to bear the town would have to bear the total costs of renovating the high school, junior, senior high school. There'd be no reimbursement for that renovation.